The sky above Seoul did not turn black. Instead, it changed to a deep, strange shade of violet. The clouds vanished, replaced by a massive, geometric shape that blocked the sun. It was a ship, but it was like nothing humanity had ever imagined. It had no wings, no engines, and no windows. It was just a perfect, silver triangle hanging in the air, silent and heavy. Alex stood on the rooftop of a tall skyscraper. The wind was blowing his hair, but he did not move. He was looking up at the alien ship. Around the city, millions of people were stopping their cars. They were leaving the shops. They were looking up, too. The whole world had gone quiet. There was no screaming yet. There was only a shared feeling of shock. For thousands of years, humans had looked at the stars and wondered if they were alone. Now, the answer was here. Beside Alex, a small radio crackled. It was an old device, but it was the only thing working. The voice on the other end was calm. "Alex, do you see it?" asked Grace. Alex pressed the button on the radio. "I see it, Grace. It is huge. It is covering the whole city center." "I am in the command center," Grace said. "We lost contact with the government bases 10 minutes ago. But I am watching the signals. They are not attacking. They are just waiting." Alex looked at the silver triangle again. "Waiting for what?" "Waiting for us to listen," Grace replied. Suddenly, a sound filled the air. It was not loud, but it felt like it was inside Alex's head. It was a low hum that made his teeth hurt. Then, every screen in the city turned on. The giant billboards in the city center, the phones in people's hands, and the televisions in the shop windows all showed the same image. A face appeared on the screens. It was tall and thin, with skin that looked like gray stone. It had eyes that were completely black. It did not blink. This was Overseer Val, the speaker for the Galactic Council. "People of Earth," Val said. His voice did not come from the speakers. It seemed to come from the air itself. It sounded cold and flat, like a machine reading a book. "I am Overseer Val. We represent the Galactic Council. We have watched your planet for a long time. We watched you fight your wars. We watched you destroy your forests. We watched you kill each other for pieces of land." Alex tightened his grip on the railing. He felt a spark of anger in his chest. The alien spoke as if he knew everything, but he knew nothing. "Your species is violent," Val continued. "You are dangerous. You are divided. You are not ready to join the stars. If we let you leave your planet, you will bring war to the galaxy. Therefore, the Council has made a decision." The image of Val zoomed out to show a map of the solar system. A large red circle appeared around Earth. "We will not destroy you," Val said. "That would be a waste of resources. Instead, we will judge you. You are sentenced to containment. We are placing a stasis field around your world." The air around the ship began to glow. A soft blue light started to descend from the sky. "You will stay on Earth," Val said. "You cannot leave. You cannot send signals out. No ship can enter, and no ship can leave. You will stay in your cage until you learn to be peaceful. Or, until you destroy yourselves. It does not matter to us which happens." The screens went black. The hum in the air grew louder. The blue light got closer. It was like a curtain falling down over the world. In the command center, Grace was typing fast on her computer. Her face was pale, but her hands were steady. She had short dark hair and sharp eyes. She was the best engineer in the country, maybe the world. David. Lisa. She called out. Give me data. What is that blue light? David was sitting at the desk next to her. He was looking at a screen full of numbers. It is some kind of energy field, he said. It is solid. Like a wall. Lisa stood by the window, looking at the sky. She had a notebook in her hand. She was writing down everything she saw. It is trapping us, she said. They are putting us in a box. They think we are animals in a zoo, David said angrily. They think they can just lock the door and forget about us. Back on the rooftop, Alex watched the blue wall reach the ground. It hit the street with a silent ripple. It passed through buildings, cars, and people. It did not hurt them, but it felt cold. When the wall touched Alex, he felt a heavy pressure, like he was at the bottom of a deep swimming pool. He clicked the radio again. Grace, are you there? I am here, Grace said. Her voice was shaky now. We are trapped, Alex. The satellites are gone. The GPS is gone. We are cut off. Alex looked around the city. The lights were still on, but the mood had changed. People were starting to panic. He saw a car crash down the street because the driver was looking at the sky. He saw people running. Listen to me, Alex said into the radio. Calm down. Panic is what they expect. They said we are violent. If we start fighting each other now, we prove them right. Alex, look at the field, Grace said. David is analyzing the energy signature. It is not perfect. Alex looked at the blue shimmer in the air. What do you mean? David says it blocks high energy, Grace explained. It stops lasers and rockets. But it lets other things through. It lets air through. It lets light through. It is not a solid wall. It is a filter. David's voice came over the radio, sounding excited. The aliens are arrogant, Alex. They built a cage for a primitive species. They didn't think we would understand how it works. The shield has a frequency. Everything in the universe shakes. If we find the right speed to shake back, we can make a hole. Alex smiled. It was a small smile, but it was real. The aliens thought they were superior. They thought humans were just stupid monkeys with rocks. They didn't know that humans loved a challenge. They didn't know that humans never gave up. We are not weeds, Alex said to the air. He knew the aliens could not hear him, but he said it anyway. We are the ones who cracked the concrete. He looked down at the city. The fear was still there, but he could feel something else growing underneath it. It was a feeling of defiance. The council had judged them. The council had isolated them. But the council had made a mistake. They had left the humans alive, and they had given them a goal. Grace, get the team together, Alex said. We have work to do. We are already working, Grace replied. We are going to break this cage, Alex. I promise. The blue wall hummed, enclosing the city, enclosing the world. The silence of the ship above felt heavy. But down in the streets and in the command centers, the minds of humanity were waking up. The judgment had been given, but the trial was just beginning. Overseer Val sat in his high chair, thinking the earth was safe and quiet. He did not know Alex, Grace, David, and Lisa. He did not know that he had just woken a sleeping giant. The blue wall covered the sky like a giant lid. It had been there for 6 months. The sun did not shine as bright as before. The stars were gone. On Earth, the air felt heavy and still. People stopped looking up after a while because it only made them sad. But for Alex, Grace, David, and Lisa, looking at the wall was their job. They sat in a large room deep underground. This was the new center for the Earth Defense Team. The room was full of computers, wires, and coffee cups. Grace was typing on her keyboard so fast that her fingers were a blur. She had dark circles under her eyes. They all did. No one slept much anymore. "Report," Alex said. He stood in the middle of the room. He looked at a large map of the world on the main screen. "We have enough food for everyone," Grace said. "The new vertical farms are working. The energy from the ocean is stable. We are not going to starve." Alex nodded. "Good. And the people, are they fighting?" "No," Lisa said. She was sitting at a small desk with a microphone. She listened to radio signals from all over the world. "They are scared, but they are helping each other. In America, people are sharing water. In Africa, doctors are traveling to Europe to help the sick. In Asia, engineers are building new houses for those who lost them. The world is quiet, Alex. There is no war." Alex smiled a little. This was not what the aliens wanted. High above the Earth, on the silver ship, Overseer Val stood on his bridge. The room was round and silent. Many aliens stood at screens, watching the blue planet. Val looked at his chief scientist. "It has been half a cycle," Val said. "Why are they not destroying each other? We took away their trade. We took away their space. They should be fighting over resources. They are a violent species." The scientist looked at its data screen. "I do not understand, Overseer. They should be killing each other by now. But their cooperation levels are at 99%. They are sharing." Val made a low, angry noise in his throat. "They are hiding it? Or maybe they are just waiting. Humans are sneaky. Do not lower the guard. The stasis field will hold them forever." But Val was worried. He had judged Earth too quickly. He thought humans were like simple bugs in a jar. He thought if you shook the jar, the bugs would eat each other. But these bugs were building a ladder. Back underground, David was looking at a strange machine. It was a large metal box with a glass window. Inside the box, there was a small piece of the blue wall. They could not take a piece of the real wall, but they had made a model based on the energy readings. "I have been testing everything," David said. He sounded tired. "I shot it with a laser. The laser bounced off. I hit it with a hammer. The hammer broke. I froze it. I burned it. Nothing." Alex walked over to him. "Keep trying, David. There is always a weakness. Even in a diamond, there is a line where you can break it." David rubbed his face. "I know. But this energy is smooth. It is like water. It just flows around everything." Lisa walked over to David. She held a notebook. She was always writing notes. "David, remember the earthquake last week?" David looked up. "Yes. The ground shook. It was scary." "The shield flickered," Lisa said. "Just for a second. When the ground shook, the blue light flashed." David's eyes opened wide. He stood up straight. "Flickered?" "Yes," Lisa said. "I wrote it down. At 3 p.m., the earthquake happened. The shield vibrated. It was a small shake, but the shield reacted. David ran back to his computer. He started typing new numbers. Vibration, he whispered. I didn't test vibration properly. I tested high frequency, like sound waves. But the earthquake, that is a physical shake. A low frequency. Grace turned her chair around. What are you thinking, David? The shield is designed to stop energy and fast objects, David said. It blocks our rockets and our signals. But it has to be thin to cover the whole planet. It is held up by its own spin. If we hit it with a slow, heavy vibration, like the Earth itself, maybe we can crack it. Alex looked at the map. We need a big machine. Something that can shake the air. A sonic weapon, Grace said. But not to hurt people. To hurt the wall. A giant tuning fork. Overseer Val was watching the Earth again. He saw the activity on the surface. He saw trucks moving. He saw ships sailing on the ocean. They were moving to one place. They are gathering, Val said. Look at the Pacific Ocean. They are building something. Is it a weapon? An alien guard asked. I do not know, Val said. But it is big. Stop them. Send a warning signal. Shake the ground. Scare them. Val pressed a button. A signal went down to the planet. It hit the ground near the ocean. It wasn't an attack, just a warning pulse. It made the ground shake a little. In the underground base, the lights flickered. Grace held onto her desk. They are trying to scare us, she said. Alex looked at the screen. It won't work. David, how long until the machine is ready? We need 2 years, David said. We have to build it in secret. We need to make it look like we are doing normal work. We will build it on the oil platforms in the ocean. They won't look closely there. 2 years, Alex said. We can do that. Val thinks we are weak. He thinks we will give up. We will use that time. For the next 2 years, the world changed. The aliens watched, but they did not understand what they were seeing. They saw humans building strange towers in the ocean. They thought humans were trying to catch more fish. They were arrogant. They could not imagine that the primitive humans could build a weapon to challenge their superior technology. But inside the ocean platforms, David, Grace, Lisa, and 1,000 other workers were building the Great Tuner. It was a massive machine made of steel and magnets. It was designed to do one thing, sing a song that the shield could not handle. Alex visited the site often. He would take a boat out to the platform. The wind was strong, and the waves were high. But he felt hope. He saw the workers from every country. They spoke different languages, but they all knew the plan. One day, Grace met him on the boat. She held a tablet. Val sent another message today, Grace said. He asked if we are ready to surrender yet. Alex laughed. What did you say? I said nothing, Grace said. I just turned off the screen. They are getting nervous, Alex said. They can feel that we are not dying. They can feel that we are getting stronger. David came up from the lower deck. He was covered in grease and oil, but he was smiling. It is ready, Alex, David said. The Great Tuner is ready. We can test it tomorrow. Alex looked at the blue sky. It still looked like a cage. But now, he held the key. Good, Alex said. Tomorrow, we knock on the door. And we will tell them to let us out. The aliens judged Earth as a place of violence. They thought humans would destroy themselves. But they were wrong. Humans had a strange power. When humans were pushed into a corner, they did not fight each other. They stood together. They looked at the problem, and they refused to accept it. The council saw a weak species. But tomorrow, they would see the truth. Tomorrow, they would feel the vibration of humanity's refusal to give up. The sun was trying to shine through the blue wall, but it was weak. The light that reached the ocean was dim and cold. Alex stood on the metal deck of the huge platform in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The water was rough, hitting the steel legs of the platform with a loud crash. The wind was blowing hard, but Alex did not move. He was looking up. Around him, workers in orange suits were running. They carried tools and check screens. In the center of the platform stood the Great Tuner. It was a giant machine made of thick steel and magnets. It looked like a massive silver needle pointing at the sky. It was taller than the tallest building in any city. This machine was not a gun. It was a giant tuning fork. It was built to shake the air. Grace walked up to Alex. She held a helmet under her arm. Her face was serious, but her eyes were bright. She was tired, but she was ready. "Is everything ready?" Alex asked her. Grace nodded. "Yes. We have connected every power station on the coast to this machine. All the energy from the Americas, from Asia, from Russia, it is all coming here. We have enough power to run the machine for 10 minutes. 10 minutes is all we need," Alex said. David ran up the metal stairs. He was out of breath. His glasses were foggy from the humidity. He held a laptop computer against his chest. "The frequency is set," David said quickly. "It is a low hum. Lower than the sound of a whale. Lower than thunder. The shield will not hear it coming. But it will feel it." Alex looked at the small radio on his shoulder. "Lisa, are you listening?" "I am here," Lisa's voice came through the radio. It was clear and calm. "I am in the command center in Seoul. We are watching the shield from here. It looks strong. But we know the truth." "Good," Alex said. "Let's show the council the truth." Alex raised his hand high in the air. The workers on the platform stopped moving. They stood still and watched him. Even the ocean seemed to wait for a moment. Alex dropped his hand. "Turn it on," he commanded. David pushed a big red button on his computer. The Great Tuner did not make a loud noise at first. It started with a deep hum that Alex felt in his feet. Then, the deck began to shake. It was a small vibration, like a heavy truck driving by. Then, the vibration grew stronger. The air around the platform started to ripple. It looked like heat rising from a road in summer, but it was moving upward. The machine was sending a pulse into the sky. It was a wave of pure vibration. High above the earth, on the silver ship, Overseer Val was sitting in his chair. He felt a small bump. The floor moved a little. "What was that?" he asked his guards. "Did we hit a rock?" "No, Overseer," a guard said. He looked at his screen. "The sensors show nothing. There is no explosion. There is no rocket launch. The energy levels are normal." Val frowned. He looked at the main screen showing the blue planet. "I feel it in the ship. The metal is humming." "It is the planet, Overseer," a scientist said. "The humans are digging. They are making noise. They are like children banging on pots." "Silence them," Val ordered. "The noise is annoying." On the platform, the shaking got stronger. The metal groaned under the stress. David held onto his desk with both hands. "It is working," David shouted over the noise. "The shield is absorbing the vibration, it is shaking too much." Alex looked up at the sky. The blue wall was changing color. Where the invisible wave from the machine hit it, the blue light was turning white. It was flickering like a broken light bulb. "Grace, give it more power," Alex yelled. Grace turned a dial on her control panel. The machine roared. The sound was deep and heavy. It felt like the air was vibrating. Suddenly, a sound like a cracking whip echoed across the whole planet. Bang! A line appeared in the blue sky. It started small, like a scratch on glass, and then it grew longer. It split the blue wall open. Through the crack, real sunlight shone down. It was bright and yellow, warm and real. The dim blue light could not stop it. "I did it!" David screamed. He jumped up and down. "It is open." In the command center in Seoul, Lisa was watching the monitors. She gasped. "Alex! The crack is getting bigger," she said. "It is 20 meters wide. No, 50 meters. We can see the stars." The hole in the shield stayed open because the machine was still shaking the air. The blue light could not heal itself while the vibration was pushing it apart. "Now," Alex said. He looked at the cannon on the deck. "Show them we can touch them." Next to the great tuner, there was a smaller device. It was a laser cannon. It looked like a big telescope. It had been built by the military in secret. It was designed to fit the resonance frequency of the crack. "Aim for the big ship," Alex commanded. "Fire!" The operator of the cannon pulled the trigger. The machine made a zap sound. A beam of red light shot up from the ocean. It moved faster than sound. It went through the crack in the shield. It traveled through the empty space and hit the silver triangle ship. The laser did not explode the ship. It was too small for that. But it burned the side of the silver hull. It left a black, scorched mark. It was a scar on the perfect alien ship. Inside the alien ship, alarms screamed. Red lights flashed everywhere. "Damage report," Val shouted. He stood up, knocking over his blue drink. "Section 4 of the hull is burned, Overseer," a scientist yelled. The shot came from the surface. From the surface, Val could not believe it. "The shield is impenetrable. Nothing gets out. No weapons work against it. The shield is broken, Overseer," the scientist said. He pointed to the screen. "There is a fissure above the Pacific Ocean. They are using sound waves to break the crystal." Val looked at the monitor. He saw the black mark on his ship. He felt cold. He looked at the data stream. His sensors had not detected a weapon. They had only detected a vibration. The aliens were blind to primitive sonics. They did not use sound to fight, so they did not defend against it. "They used a song to break our wall," Val whispered. He sat back down slowly. "They are not animals. They are dangerous." On the ocean platform, the machine was still running. The hole was getting bigger. The workers were hugging each other. They were crying and laughing at the same time. They looked up at the stars with tears in their eyes. Alex looked at Grace. "How long can we keep it open?" Grace looked at the temperature gauges. They were in the red zone. "Not long, Alex. The machine is getting too hot. If we run it for 5 more minutes, it will melt down. Then we stop," Alex said. "We proved our point. We showed them we are not afraid." We showed them we can fight back. David stopped the machine. The loud humming stopped. The shaking stopped. Slowly, the blue wall moved back. The crack closed up like a healing wound. The dim violet light returned. But everyone had seen the real sun. Everyone knew the wall was not forever. In the command center, Lisa turned on the radio again. Her voice was full of joy. Alex, the world saw the crack. Every country saw it. The fear is gone. We have hope now. The aliens can be hurt. Alex looked up at the spot where the crack had been. The alien ship was still there, hanging in the sky like a threat. But it looked smaller now. It was not a god anymore. It was just a machine. And machines can be broken. We are not trapped, Alex said to his team. We are just getting started. He knew Val would be angry. He knew the aliens would try to fix the shield or fight back. But today, humanity won. They did not use big bombs. They did not use magic. They used science and teamwork. They used the thing that made them human, the ability to solve problems. The ocean waves continued to hit the platform. The wind blew through the metal structure. But the mood was different. The cage had a hole in it. And soon, they would break the whole thing down. The judgment was wrong. Earth was not weak. Earth was strong. The red light on Overseer Val's ship was flashing. The hum of the engine was angry. Val stood on the bridge, looking at the scorch mark on the side of his vessel. It was a black line on the silver metal. It was small, but to Val, it was a disaster. The primitives had hurt a council ship. This had not happened in 1,000 years. They will pay for this insult, Val said. His voice was like grinding stones. He pressed a button on his chair. Send the eliminators. Send them to the coordinates of the vibration. Destroy the machine. Destroy the humans there. Below him, on the earth, Alex saw the small black dots falling from the sky. Here they come, Alex said. He stood on the deck of the platform. The wind was blowing his hair. He looked calm. Grace was next to him. She held a strange metal gun. It was a prototype, made from stolen ideas and human creativity. How many? She asked. 20, maybe 30, Alex said. He looked at the radar screen. They want to crush us quickly. Let them try, Grace said. She smiled. It was a dangerous smile. The alien ships dropped fast. They were shaped like black teardrops. They did not have wings. They floated on anti-gravity drives. They looked scary and high-tech. But the humans on the platform did not scream. They ran to their positions. David and Lisa were in the control room below the deck. David's hands were shaking, but he was focused. Is the trap ready? Lisa asked. It is ready, David said. But I have to wait until they are close. If I do it too soon, they will fly away. Wait, Lisa said. Just wait. In the sky, human fighter jets flew up to meet the aliens. These jets were old. They were made of steel and rivets. But the pilots were the best in the world. They had practiced for this day for 2 years. The aliens tried to lock their lasers on the jets. The alien computers tried to predict where the jets would go. But the pilots did something the computers could not understand. They stopped flying logically. One pilot flew his jet straight down, then pulled up at the last second. Another pilot spun her plane like a top. Their computers are confused, shouted a pilot over the radio. They don't know how to track us. The jets fired their missiles. The missiles were not advanced, but there were many of them. They swarmed the alien ships like bees. 2 alien ships exploded into orange fireballs. Debris rained down into the ocean. "Good," Alex said, watching the sky. "But the rest are coming down." The black ships broke through the cloud line. They headed straight for the ocean platform. They fired green beams of energy. The beams melted the steel railing. The deck shook. Dust and smoke filled the air. "David! Now!" Grace shouted into her radio. "I am doing it!" David yelled. He pushed the main lever forward. Out in the water, huge pipes that were hidden under the surface opened up. They blasted air and water into the ocean with massive force. The ocean around the platform began to churn. It was not just waves, it was a whirlpool. A massive, angry storm of water formed around the metal legs of the platform. The alien ships tried to land. But the water was too wild. The wind was too strong. One ship was caught by a giant wave. It smashed against the steel leg of the platform. The metal crunched. The ship spun and sank. Another ship tried to hover above the deck. But the air turbulence was too much. It spun out of control and crashed into a warehouse. "They cannot handle the chaos," Lisa shouted. "Their stabilizers are failing." The aliens that managed to land on the deck jumped out. They were tall, wearing silver armor. They held energy staffs. They looked like robots. They advanced on the human defenders. Alex took cover behind a metal crate. He held his breath. An alien walked past him. The alien did not look down. It thought Alex was hiding in fear. Alex jumped up. He fired his weapon. It was a railgun, a gun that used magnets to shoot metal slugs very fast. The slug hit the alien in the back. The armor shattered. The alien fell down. "Use the debris," Grace shouted to the other soldiers. "Use the smoke. They rely on their sensors. Blind them." The human soldiers threw smoke grenades. Gray smoke covered the deck. The aliens could not see. Their sensors showed red shapes everywhere. They fired blindly, hitting nothing. The humans knew the layout of the platform. They knew where every step was. They moved through the smoke like ghosts. They picked off the aliens one by one. Overseer Val watched the battle from above. His screen showed the fight. He expected to see the humans running away. He expected to see them crying. Instead, he saw a soldier with a broken arm still firing his gun. He saw a medic dragging a heavy box to build a barricade. He saw them helping each other. "They do not care about their own lives," Val whispered. "Why?" He saw Grace running through the fire. She did not run to safety. She ran towards the danger to help David. She carried a bag of ammunition. An alien shot at her, burning her shoulder. She did not stop. She threw the bag to David and kept running. They are protecting each other, Val realized. They are not fighting for money. They are fighting for their home. The last alien ship on the deck tried to take off again. It was damaged. David saw it. He ran to the edge of the deck. He fired a large cable gun. The cable wrapped around the ship's landing gear. David braced himself and pulled. The cable was attached to the heavy machinery of the platform. The ship could not lift the weight. It hovered for a moment, then crashed back down to the deck. The engines exploded. Silence fell over the platform. The fires crackled. The smoke drifted away. The humans stood up. They were bleeding. Their clothes were torn. But they were standing. Alex walked onto the main deck. He looked up at the sky. He knew Val was watching. "Is that it?" Grace asked, wiping blood from her forehead. "For now," Alex said. "But we hurt them. They don't understand us. They think we are weak because we are soft. But they just learned that soft things can be very hard to break." David and Lisa came up from the control room. They looked exhausted but happy. "We got the black box from one of the ships," David said, holding up a metal device. "Now we can see how they fly. Now we can build better ships." Alex nodded. "Today, we defended a platform. Tomorrow, we take the sky." Overseer Val sat in his chair. He felt cold. The strike force was gone. The primitive humans had destroyed his best soldiers using water, magnets, and sheer will. Val realized he had made a terrible mistake. He had not trapped an animal. He had trapped a monster. And now, the monster was awake. The room on the alien ship was very quiet. It was a perfect circle, with walls made of white glass. In the middle sat the members of the Galactic Council. They were different shapes and sizes, but they all looked worried. Overseer Val stood in the center. He looked tired. He had not slept since the battle at the ocean. One counselor, a tall creature with long arms, stood up. "We must destroy them," it said. Its voice was sharp. "We have the planet breaker. One shot, and Earth is gone. They cracked the shield. They killed our soldiers. They are too dangerous to live." Val shook his head slowly. "No," Val said. "Think about what happened. We trapped them. We judged them. We took away their future. And what did they do? They did not start a war among themselves. They did not cry for help. They built a weapon we did not understand. They used vibration, a simple thing we ignored, to break our best technology. They are violent." Another counselor shouted. "They attacked us." "They defended themselves," Val said. "There is a difference. But that is not why we should not destroy them." Val walked to the window. He looked down at the blue planet. It looked beautiful and terrifying. "If we destroy Earth, we might miss," Val continued. "If some of them survive, and they are very good at surviving, they will never forgive us. They will spend the next 1,000 years finding a way to destroy us. Humans have a spirit we do not have. They have spite. If we push them into a corner, they come out fighting. I do not want an enemy that survives a planet-killing weapon. I want to be their friend, or at least, leave them alone." The council was silent. They were afraid. For the first time, the bullies of the galaxy were scared of the small planet. "Open the channel," Val ordered. "I will speak to the leader. I will speak to Alex." On Earth, the night was dark. But on the ocean platform, the lights were bright. The air smelled of smoke and salt. Alex stood near the edge of the deck. He was looking at the hole in the sky that had healed. It looked solid again. But he knew the truth. The shield was not permanent. Grace stood next to him. She was holding a bandage on her arm. David and Lisa were sitting on the floor, drinking water. They were exhausted, but they were alert. "Are they coming back?" David asked. "To finish us?" "Maybe," Alex said. "But we are ready for them. We know how to fight them now." Suddenly, the big screen on the platform flickered. It turned on by itself. The alien face appeared again. It was Overseer Val. He looked different this time. He did not look angry. He looked serious. Alex walked up to the screen. He did not bow. He stood tall. "I am listening," Alex said. Val took a breath. "People of Earth," Val said. "You have surprised the Council. We thought you were a stage 0.5 civilization. We thought you were violent and simple. We were wrong. We are not simple," Grace said to the screen. "And we are not going to be your prisoners." Val nodded. "We see that now. You broke the stasis field with sound. You defeated our advanced troops with old machines and courage. You have a power that is not measured in technology. It is measured in your refusal to give up." Val paused. He looked away from the camera for a second, as if listening to someone else. Then he looked back. "The Council has voted," Val said. "We will not destroy Earth. We have decided that, we are not worthy to judge you. If we trap you, we are making a powerful enemy. If we kill you, we lose a potential ally. We will lift the punishment." Alex stared at the screen. He didn't trust the aliens yet. "What are you saying?" "I am saying," Val said, his voice heavy, "that the shield is coming down. You are free to leave your planet when you want. You are free to join the stars. But be warned. The galaxy is dangerous. And now, everyone will know about Earth. They will know that you are strong." The screen went black. Lisa jumped up. "Did you hear that the shield is coming down?" A few seconds later, a loud sound echoed across the world. It was like a giant glass breaking. High in the sky, above the clouds, the blue wall cracked. But this time, it did not heal. It shattered into a million pieces of light. The pieces floated up like dust and vanished. For the first time in years, the sky was clear. The stars shone brightly. The moon looked bigger than ever. The galaxy was open. Alex felt a breeze on his face. It felt different now. It felt like freedom. Grace walked over to him. She looked up at the stars. Tears were in her eyes. "We did it," she whispered. "We actually did it." David was laughing. "I can't believe it. They ran away. They were scared of us. They were scared of what we can become," Alex said. He turned to his team. "You are the smartest people I know. You used physics and engineering to scare a space empire. That is the power of humanity." Lisa stood up and brushed off her pants. "So, what do we do now? Do we rest?" "No," Alex said. He looked at the vast dark space above them. "We don't rest. We have a lot of work to do. We have to build new ships. We have to explore. We have to show the galaxy that we are here to stay." The sun began to rise over the ocean. The light hit the water and reflected in Alex's eyes. The judgment was over. Earth was free. The Council had judged them, and then they had observed the true power. It was not a gun or a bomb. It was the heart of the human race. It was the ability to stand together when the universe pushed them down. Alex looked at his friends Grace, David, and Lisa. They were not famous leaders. They were just people who refused to quit. "Let's go home," Alex said. "And then, let's get ready for the future." The ship above them turned slowly. It pointed its nose away from the Earth and flew away into the deep dark space. They were leaving. Humanity was alone again. But they were no longer small. They were no longer trapped. They were the masters of their own destiny. And the galaxy would never forget them.